Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full review of these 7-inch headlights you can find on Amazon for your Jeep. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Man, just look at that sky today. So as I said, these headlights should pretty much fit your Jeep as long as they take 7-inch round headlights. In this video, I'm going to be installing them on my TJ, but go ahead and stick around if you don't have a TJ because this review is going to be more than installing on my Jeep. This is going to be a review of the headlights themselves. So these are HWSTAR headlights. You can find them on Amazon. I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description below. These are the Starry Dragon Eye headlights, and I'm really interested to see how they actually look on the Jeep. The pictures actually look really cool, so I'm excited to put them on there and see how it looks. Now these are just 7-inch round headlights, so they should work on pretty much any Jeep that has the 7-inch round headlights, as well as many other vehicles that take the same size headlight. It's pretty much a universal thing when it comes to the 7-inch round headlights. Now, full disclosure, HWSTAR did send these to me to give a review on. But no matter what, I am going to give my full and honest review of these headlights. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this open and let's see how it looks inside. Alright, so I like how they put their image on the packaging, but really packaging isn't everything. It's all about what's inside. Right on top here we have our instructions. Now something I did forget to mention is these do have a high and low beam, but also they are capable of having a daytime running light as well as an in-the-headlight turn signal. They seem to be packaged pretty well, and honestly, they seem to be pretty hefty and heavy. I'm actually really surprised at how heavy these are compared to the ones that I already have installed in my Jeep. But just because they're heavy does not mean a bad thing. A lot of times it means that it's built a little bit more solid. Also, with LED lights, it usually requires some kind of external plug or something, and these do not require that because it's all built into the housing. All right, now for everybody's favorite part. Oh, I don't know what it is about peeling the plastic off. Everybody loves it. I don't know. I would assume you like it. I really like it. I wish I would have waited until I was ready to install it, but here we go. Now underneath the headlights, we do have an adapter here depending on what kind of plug you have on your vehicle. Mine just takes this 3-prong, so I'm not worried about this. I won't use it, but I can't throw anything away, so this is just going to end up in my spare parts. Also has a bundle of red wire and a bundle of yellow wire. That way you have a little bit of lead wire so that you can wire up your daytime running lights as well as your turn signal. And then I always forget to look underneath the foam, but there's nothing in here but a packing slip. Moving on, slap all that in that box. Let's see here. All right. Now, first impressions looking at these lights, they do seem to be very well put together. They have a polycarbonate lens. It's a lot more solid than the cheapos that I already have in my Jeep. But looking at the lens, I feel like it's supposed to mount just about like this. That's kind of how it looks in the picture. And the lenses just seem to be slightly twisted, just a small smidgen. But that causes the etching on the headlight to be just a little bit off. But that's not really a big issue because I'm looking more for performance, not nitpicking the placement of the lens. Now, right up here on top, there is a DOT number. They do say that these are DOT approved, and that is always wonderful. Now, on the back of the light here, I'm actually really surprised that they don't have bigger fins for more heat dissipation. But maybe they have their own system for it. I'm not really sure. I do know that LED headlights get extremely hot, and sometimes they will have a built-in fan, but honestly, I don't believe that this is the case. On the plug here, it does have that standard 3-prong plug, but there is an adapter in the box like I showed you before. And then there's these 2 plugs off to the side. These are for your daytime running lights as well as your turn signal. So overall, my first impressions of these headlights is actually pretty good. I do like the solid lens material. Now, as far as heat, I did have these plugged in and on for about an hour earlier today, just sitting out there in the sun in the heat, and it did get pretty warm, but I could still pick it up and hold it in my hand after that hour, which means it shouldn't cause any electrical problems inside the headlight or out. And if you're wondering, today it is 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not just that it was cold outside and it kept it cool, it is extremely hot outside and it didn't get too hot that I couldn't hold the back of the headlight. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and install them on the Jeep and see how they look. Now, as with any time you're working on a vehicle, especially the electrical system, you want to make sure to disconnect the negative cable on the battery. That way you don't have any mishaps. Now, these headlights here, I did an install and review video on quite a while back. And after they have been installed on my Jeep for a while, they kind of have this yellow tinge to them. I don't know if it's from the sun or from heat. It might just be because I drive through the mud a lot, but honestly, I feel like it kind of looks ugly. So I'm really excited to get these new headlights on here. Now, this is going to be the installation for a Jeep TJ, so it's going to differ depending on what vehicle you have. But the function of the light is still the same, and it works with many different Jeep models. So the first thing we're going to do on this TJ is we're going to remove this bezel right here using the 3 torque screws. There should be one right here, up here, and over here to the right. Now, when you're doing this, if you want to use power tools, take caution because a lot of times this all goes into plastic and you don't want to break anything. Once those are out, this here should just pop right off depending on how much mud you have caked in there over the years. It's a little tight. Now, next thing we need to do is remove this bezel right here. This here is just held on with 4 screws this time. There should be 2 over here and 2 over here. Now, just a word of caution, once you remove that last screw, there is no longer anything holding in your headlight. So, make sure you've got a good hold on it because you don't want it to just fall out. Now that the headlight's out, we have our wires here. Now, because my Jeep model did not come with a daytime running light, I did have to wire this up separately, as well as my turn signal wire. I also had to wire up separately. For the turn signal wire, I just looped into my turn signal here. And for the daytime running lights, I believe I went all the way back into the cab. If you want more in-depth information on how I did these lights, you can check out this video up here in the right-hand corner. And I will also link that video at the end of this video. So now all I got to do is unplug everything here and plug in the new headlight, and installation is reverse of disassembly. So the verdict is in, and I must say I am thoroughly impressed. I have been driving with these lights for the last few days, and I am extremely impressed with the crispness and the clarity of these lights. Now, they are extremely bright. They light up the road very well, but personally, that is not the part that impressed me. What impressed me was how well the light actually looked on the road. I would highly recommend these lights to anybody looking to upgrade their current 7-inch headlights. Once again, if you're interested in these lights, go ahead and check out the link down below. That's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Thanks for watching.